Hello, I'm Edward Sadler here in the heart of Hong Kong as we build up to the running of the Audemars Piguet QE2 Cup. It's the race that recently has been recognised as one of the top Group 1 events on the international calendar, and it's produced some memorable moments on the track in years gone by.
Japanese history in Hong Kong, Asian Preston by a length and a half. Vengeance of Rain, the Derby winner, wins the QE2. It's Viva Pataka clear. Viva Pataka beats Vengeance of Rain. Japenko from the fast finishing Balius. Rosmus wins the QE2 Cup. He beats Viva Pataka and thumbs up. The Derby winner, Ambitious Dragon, makes it 3 Group 1s in a row. Rulership, he's destroying his rivals in the QE2 Cup. What a great welcome to Hong Kong racing for the Australian superstar rider Tommy Berry. Military Attack wins the QE2 Cup. Designs on Rome wears him down. What a great horse. Designs on Rome beat Military Attack.
It's a big win for Blazing Speed, Neil Callan and Tony Cruz.
As always, it brings together a top field, the Audemars Piguet QE2 Cup. Here are the runners and riders for this year's edition. Up the top, last year's winner, Blazing Speed. Highland Reel is back after winning the Vase last year. Lovely Day, one of 3 representatives from Japan. Designs on Rome, of course, has won this race in the past. Likewise for Military Attack. John Moore also represented the race by Helene Happy Star. Satono Crown, the improving 4-year-old. The Derby winner, Werther. Horse of Fortune, lightly raced, improving type. Nuovo Record, of course, the mare, and Rising Romance representing Australia. I'm pleased to introduce our 2 expert guests to join us for the show to discuss the race. Steve Moran and Nihiro Goda, welcome to you both.
Edward, hi, great to be here, great to be in Hong Kong again for the 16th running of the race with international Group 1 status, and it's a fantastic lineup this year.
How do you assess it, Steve? Of course, you've been coming here for many years. How do you assess it compared to previous years?
I think in terms of depth, it's the best edition I've seen. It has all the ingredients of recent years that have made the race great. The past 3 winners, and the race has a history of those great Hong Kong horses repeating. Back to Viva Pataka, Military Attack, who's almost won it twice. He has a win and a second on his CV. We've got the Derby winner. We've got 3 great runners from Japan, which I'm sure Nihiro will tell us more about. A couple of runners from major players in Ireland and Australia. It's a fantastic race this year.
Nihiro, we saw the Japanese have great success during the December international meeting. 3 horses from Japan lining up in this race as well. They look tough to beat.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be back here with a quite strong Japanese 3 horses. Actually, this time of the year in Japan, there is no good major race over mile and quarter with a good prize money. So all those, all 3 Japanese trained horses here are all very, very good 2,000 meter good horses. So for them, for their connections, this is a quite logical and suitable selection for those horses. So this is a race, which they have been seeing since December, and they have been trained for this race since December. So all of them are very good, and I believe, all of them have a good chance.
Okay, we'll have more from Nihiro and Steve shortly, but of course it's a race, the QE2, that Japan has had great success in the past with the likes of Asian Preston and Rulership. Doug Chalmers takes a look back at some past glories in the QE2 for the Japanese.
A powerhouse in international racing, it's no surprise that Japanese runners have enjoyed considerable success here in Hong Kong. You only have to look back to December for Japan's most recent triumph, with Morris and Eishin Hikari taking out the Hong Kong Mile and the Hong Kong Cup. Since it was upgraded to international Group 1 status in 2001, Japanese raiders have in total plundered 3 QE2 Cups. Rewind to 2002, and months after taking out the Hong Kong Mile, Asian Preston returned to Sha Tin for another dose of international success.
Asian Preston comes after Grandera. Agnes Digital goes with him. It's the Japanese 1-2. Asian Preston. Agnes Digital doesn't want to be beat. Asian Preston in front. Getting home late Indigenous. Asian Preston wins it. Indigenous flew late in a photo for second with Agnes Digital.
Not content with that win, the son of Green Dancer then became the first and only back-to-back winner of the 2,000 metre contest with victory in 2003.
The Japanese are getting home. They will get home winners. Asian Preston sweeps up. goes to the front. Japanese history in Hong Kong. Asian president by a length and a half.
A 9-year drought followed for the Japanese, but that ended in 2012 as multiple group-winning Galloper rulership produced one of the most devastating performances in the race's history.
Irian thumbs up in California memory, but away goes rulership. He's destroying his rivals in the QE2 Cup. Zaidan thumbs up in California memory. Sweet orange when it's all over, but Umberto Responsibly takes out the QE2 Cup on rulership.
This year, Japan sends a three-pronged attack to take out the race. The highest-rated challenger is dual Group 1 winner Lovely Day, who will be ridden by Hong Kong's magic man Joe Moreira. The 6-year-old had a stellar season in 2015, capturing the all-star Takarazuka Kinnan and the show in which he beat Eishin Hikari. Star trainer Noriyuki Hori will saddle up Satono Crown. A place-getter in last year's Japanese Derby, Satono Crown arrives on the back of a strong win in the Kyoto Kinnan and will be ridden by Zach Purton, with the Australian desperate to add a QE2 win to his impressive resume. The third and final member of the Japanese trio is the mare Nuovo Record. The former Oaks winner has already been to Hong Kong before in December when she finished second in the Cup. But without Eishin Hikari to worry about, the daughter of Heart's Cry could be hard to beat.
Thanks to Doug Chalmers for bringing us that report. Nahiro, 3 runners in the race. Let's start off with Lovely Day. He looks at least the most exposed of them. He's got great credentials. Looked like a nice run from him leading into this race too.
Yeah, he improved a lot during the season of the 2015. Before the starting of the season last year, he hadn't won any graded stakes, but now he's the winner of the 2 graded 1 stakes. The previous start, Osaka High, was a bit disappointing, but he needed that race. Since that race, he has been trained much better, much sharper. Now he is ready to run and ready to win.
He's drawn well in barrier number 1. He looks like a horse that travels well into his races. Where do you think Joe Moreira will be on him in the run?
Well, this is a good question. I mean, I took the same bus as the trainer coming back from the racetrack to here. The trainer wanted to draw between 1 and 4. So draw number 1 is ideal. I think, Joe and Lovely Day will track the leader quite closely. This is the tactics, I believe.
Satono Crown, big win from him last time out. Looking at his 3-year-old form, he looked like he was continuing to improve through the year and had that strong form around Duramente, of course, in the Classics.
Exactly. Satono Crown has been regarded very, very highly from the day 1 at the Horace stable. All connections understood he has the same class as the Duramente in the same stable who won Derby last year. But last year he was a bit babyish in nature. But now he's coming, his top form, improving a lot. So he's I think the best. I like the best Satono Crown among 3 Japanese.
Okay, Nuovo Record we saw, of course, for the Cup last year.
Yep.
Very good second from her. Mm-hmm. Can she go one better here?
Yes, she's very good, Madam Quarter horse, and she, this is second time for her to come to Hong Kong. This is very familiar surrounding, and ridden by Taki. This is a big advantage. So she is good as she can reproduce her form of December on Sunday. But still, 2 other Japanese are better horse than Nuovo Record.
Steve, of course, the other mare in the race is Rising Romance Australia. Hasn't been able to win the QE2 in the past. Can she be the one that does it?
Look, she might lack that little edge against probably the best of the Japanese. David Hayes, of course, has had 3 placings in this race, twice with Elegant Fashion, the mare, in 2003, 2004, and of course placed with Criterion last year. Is she good enough? Perhaps not to win, but from gate 4 she gets a lovely run. Is she good enough to be highly competitive? Yes, she is. I think she still comes here relatively fresh. I'd be a little bit surprised if she could win, but I think she'll run a bold race.
And what about the local horses? Of course, you follow Hong Kong racing closely. We've got the likes of Designs on Rome, Military Attack. You mentioned before the Derby winner, Werther. Where do the locals come into the scheme of things here?
Well, you have to wonder whether the time Blazing Speed, Designs on Rome, Military Attack might have had their moment in the sun. And yet, as I said earlier, the race has a history of these great Hong Kong horses repeating to some degree. I'd be inclined to think that Werther is the speculative gamble amongst the Hong Kong horses this year. 3 previous, of course, Derby winners have gone on to win this race. Is he as good as those? Well, we won't know until Sunday afternoon. But again, he draws beautifully in gate 5. Hugh Bowman can have that lovely stalking run, and as is the case with the majority of races probably anywhere in the world, this race is generally won by the horse with that lovely stalking trail. You want to get the right run in the race, and because this is so competitive this year, I think that will be even more important.
Okay, selections guys, first of all, Nahiro, who are you going for? Who's going to win the QE2 Cup?
I like the Sha Tin Racecourse the best. He has a very, very good chance, and he has a devastating late kick, so he needs a kind of the good pace. But I like the Sha Tin Racecourse the best.
Okay, Steve, who are you going for?
Well, I'm going to go with the other Japanese horse, Lovely Day, who I think, put together those 4 stakes wins, went to the Japan Cup, beaten a half length. I think the next run at the close of the season was 1 run too many in the hero, perhaps.
Yeah.
Returned in the Osaka High, lack of pace against him, probably a couple of other things against him that day as well. I thought his run was absolutely superb. He draws gate 1. Mr. Aiki gets his wish, as he normally does. The horse, I think, has drawn 1, 1, 2 and 4, and now won 5 of his past 6 starts. I think he'll get a lovely run, and I'm pretty keen on him. I think Werther is definitely a contender this year. The other 2 Japanese horses would hardly shock you, and I think if they rode Highland Real aggressively, he would be competitive as well. But it also wouldn't surprise me if there's 2 lengths between the first 10.
Terrific to have your company, guys, and your insight into the race. All the best for Sunday. Thanks for your time. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. After this, we're going to hear from all the connections leading into the running of Sunday's big race. We'll also speak to Neil Callan as he guides us through his winning ride in last year's QE2 on Blazing Speed, and we'll get the expert tips. Thanks for watching our preview of the Audemars Piguet QE2 Cup.